Hello, everyone. My name is Charles Bloodworth. I'm gonna lay it all on the line for you guys right now. So I'm gonna read from my phone. I'm gonna let you guys know why I'm doing this, what my aspirations are, um, what I've been infatuated with or enthused by, and as well as kind of what maybe I want to um, obtain with the degree from criminal justice. So I'll start out by saying, ever since I was a kid, I've always been intrigued by people who have special jobs. Growing up, I went through a lot of different things, ranging from being bullied and picked on, starting at the age of about 6 years old, being soaked in gasoline by neighborhood kids, to being an adult and coming into really close contact with death and dangerous situations. I've always resorted back to being a child and going through stuff. I find it calm in watching movies like The Men in Black and John Claude Van Damme, etc. These were movies I would watch when I was a kid. So I would find myself almost needing excitement to keep me alive. Maybe not to that exact degree, but most people I would think don't like to live 100% boring lives. I mean, more power to you if you do. It's just not really for me. So just the other day, I watched the new Mortal Kombat movie just so I could relate to how I would feel when I was a kid watching Men in Black, because it keeps me grounded, or it's kind of an adult association to those childhood feelings that I felt. Uh, you know, it was a great feeling while watching a movie like that. And when it's the right time to unwind, it's just right time to unwind. And I'm not much of a movie person, but I have a select few that I have really piqued my interest over the years. So movies have always been my go-to when needing to remind myself of who I am inside. So this is just an example. Anyway, I became obsessed with different organizations such as like the CIA, the DIA, NSA, organizations like NASA, and even deeper organizations that were put together a long time ago by a president. Goes by the name of Majestic 12, and more organizations even than that I'm not going to get into right now because it's not relevant. So upon research of these different organizations, I fell in love with them. It seems like, and the different aspects of them, and the diversity of the different capabilities, that they have like an unspoken brotherhood aspect to it as well. I feel like I was born for something like that. You know, something like, well, maybe not like that, but something that I can't put a finger on, but I do know I still have not accomplished whatever it was I was born for. Is what I feel like. I almost feel that I still have not explored my full potential and that I'm just scratching the surface. To the average person, I believe certain aspects of things would have made them question their want to go further on a journey similar to this or like this, but for me, it has only made my interest greater. I guess I would personally say for myself it has only strengthened my will and want to continue, so maybe one day I am the right guy for whatever it is. I say this because there are two phrases that I would say. One is well known, which is the second phrase, and the first phrase I will use for my personal reassurance, and this is not so well known. Looking and applying uh, these situations to my life, and past situations or even present ones will easily set me apart from being this crazy guy or just being someone with an obsession. And more than that, I'm an enthusiast for these types of jobs within organizations that it takes, and it takes a certain type of person to be considered for these types of jobs. So the first of the two phrases, which is the one that is not as well known, only known really in a small community of top tier guys in the Special Forces unit known as the Delta Force. I watched a video on these guys several times, and what they said really stuck out to me while watching this video, um, and also stuck with me after watching the video. And in this video, there's a saying that goes, "We don't always pick the best guy, we pick the right guy." The second phrase that commonly used is a commonly used phrase every day, and also people I've seen even with paperweights on their desk. Um, you know, and it says, "Fake it till you make it." And just for the record, I'm not saying that I'm some special person or that I'm a faking like I'm gonna be a special person or anything like that, or faking it right now or anything like that. But for me to believe that maybe one day I can be a candidate for a job for a certain type of person may be crazy, and thinking that could even be the case, but I just don't hear it. So it's not that I'm not listening or you can't tell me nothing, but what I do know is how capable I am. And what I'm saying is I am confident in that I have potential and I'm not getting tired. When it comes to something like the best men and women that have ever done something like this, or that may have a star on the wall for the ones not forgotten, to be quietly amongst them one day would be an honor, to say the least. Something will have to give eventually, whether it be the opportunity stronghold against me, getting to achieve such an honor of working with the best and the brightest people who you know and can trust, or it be my will of trying and fighting from what I resort to from my childhood, like the Men in Black movie, after being picked on to the point of amateur torture. Letting its grip go, something like that may have to give in. So one of these things will give in from the tension or pressure, or nature will take its course. And to me, right now, it's just a matter of time for any of these three things to happen. In my mind, it would be an honor to achieve goals at the highest levels amongst the people who are also extremely high caliber. And in this world, if I ever was to make it that far, I wouldn't be surprised. And on the flip side, if I didn't, I wouldn't be surprised either, if that makes sense. I'm still learning so much about myself and about selflessness and others and service to others, even if it's just helping a random person or saying the small things that matter to anybody to help, lift someone's confidence in themselves that coincides to what they may be dealing with. The small things do matter greatly. I'm always learning. But like I said, from my childhood dream, a safeguard for me, being 6 years old, soaked in gasoline with 3 neighborhood boys lighting matches above me and fixing to throw them on me, no hesitation. I remember looking in their eyes and clearly seeing that. Also knowing, looking back, that God was watching me and He was with me in Jesus. That's my Lord and Savior, and He was with me and He's been with me all these years. I know it clearly because to this day, my best friend, I remember him at the time. He saw what was happening from down the street, and he ran as fast as he could while he was screaming at him. I was on the ground on my back, soaked in gas. He scared them away, threatening them as he was running towards them. Man, he was tougher than any of them. Anybody that we knew, he was the toughest kid we knew. His name was Jody. Shout outs to Jody from Enid, Oklahoma. He was a bit older than me, but he took me under his wing. His uncle would be the guy who pierced my ear when I was about 6, 7 years old, and I thought at that point that I was finally cool. Little did I know. But when these things would occur, or similar situations like this, I've always watched the Men in Black so I could someday say that this will never happen again, because I would be the Men in Black. That was my childhood mentality. I don't think a day has gone by where I haven't quietly thought to myself in some related form or fashion that someday that could still be possible. But as far as what this degree would do for me, just for an example, a criminal justice degree is required for employment somewhere. That's what I do know, and who knows what else is required for other people, places, or things. So it's kind of the basic foundation, I would suppose, and that's kind of all I got. Thank you for listening.